Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Rock Shop with Ralph, your source for the best celebrity interviews. When you want to rock, you rock the Rock Shop with Ralph. Tonight, I have local legends from upstate New York, rock band Held Hostage, returning favorites to the show. And from the band, we have lead vocalist, lead guitarist Tom Collier.
Yep.
We have guitarist Scott Gregg, and we have bassist Dave Carroll, and soon to be joined by drummer Jeff Murray. He'll be on with us in a little bit. How's everybody doing, guys?
Great, man.
Good, thank you.
Thanks for having us back again, man. We love your show.
Thank you.
Oh, excellent!
For over a year now, man, haven't you? Like you just
yeah, I've been. I had a 1 year anniversary, November 29th. Over 70 interviews I've done. Yeah, it's been great. The show really taken off. You guys were in there in the beginning, yep. And fans loved it. So, of course, I asked you guys back. I had to beg you guys back because you guys are so busy.
Oh yeah, we're still trying to figure out Zoom.
Yeah. And we're not going to say while you two guys are together in a bedroom. We're not even going to go there.
No, we won't.
All right, but I appreciate Scott wearing the Rock Shop with Ralph shirt. That's awesome.
Hey, show that right.
All right, there it is. Way to go. And I was telling you guys before we started, I have the Held Hostage shirt, and the reason why I didn't wear it tonight was I wore it so many times before. If you go back into those 70 interviews, there's got to be at least 4 or 5 interviews where I'm wearing that. I think one of them was when I interviewed the Rock Band Autograph.
Oh, nice.
I think that was one of them comes to mind.
Yep.
But how's everybody doing?
We're doing
First of all,
thank you.
Spring is coming, man. Spring is coming. We're excited to get ready to rock, man.
Yeah, it's over here in the city. The weather's been cold, hot. But today, I was able to go outside, have a catch with my son, shoot some hoops with him. So, the little things like that in life is what it's all about, especially when the weather changes.
Oh, absolutely. We do the same thing. We're all about family. Yeah,
right.
That's one of the things. Family first with this band, man.
Family's
got
everything.
A family thing going on. The band stops, we go.
I know, and we're friends on Facebook, Tom. And I always see you're always dirt biking or ATVing with your kids,
man. Love it.
Yeah.
I'm always out in the woods, man. I'm an outdoors guy. I come home covered with mud, hiking, and I own 100 acres of land, and it's got probably 3 miles of hiking trails and ATV trails and mud bogs, and
right.
I love it.
Awesome.
That's
so am I.
sanctuary.
Actually, I'm a city boy, of course, with my accent, but I'm an outdoorsman as well. Go figure that. I was always involved with the Boy Scouts since I was a kid. Camping, hiking, fishing, hunting, the best.
That's where we were brought up, man. We went out, we hunted, fished, swam, all that stuff.
Right. So you guys were on the show before, but we didn't divulge too much history of the band the last time. So briefly, Tom, since you're the elder statesman of the band,
I'm the youngest one. He is the old, yeah.
Yeah. Why don't you give us a little history on Held Hostage? Your origins, how you started. I know you had a break in between, but up until Epic, what's the history of the band?
So we started around 84, and the Held Hostage name has a double meaning. When I came up with the name, it was you wanted to hold the audience hostage with the music, but it also had the real meaning of it too was when the Iranians held the Americans hostage. Nobody should be able to hold an American hostage.
Right.
So that's where the name came out, but it had the double meaning of that, So we had a great run in the 80s. Heck, we got out. I toured with Eddie Money. We had the drummer from Man of War played with us, Scott Columbus, and I got him the job with Man of War. They were looking for a drummer, and Scott was playing with us. And I said, you know what? I went and got him the interview. He didn't even know it was me. Had no clue. He tells me, saying, well, this band called me. I said, I know. I gave him their number. It's like he goes, I'm going on tour with them. I'm going to be in Europe and all over, cutting an album with them, but. Through the 80s, we had a great run. We actually opened for Man of War on the World's Loudest Band Tour. Like 1990, we released Rockin' a Night Away as a cassette tape, that and a song called Rescue Me. And they went to number 41 and number 90 on the radio stations. All the stations were playing us, but I drove around with cassette tapes to the stations, Back then, you could get played on the air, but you had to hustle. It was pretty cool. We were like the number 54 requested band in 1990 on the radio. We actually were ahead of Rush. Rush was number 55. We were 54.
Ahead of Rush?
We were ahead of Rush. Yeah,
wow.
It was pretty wild. Yeah, AC/DC beat us, but so.
Well, that's when they had 1990. That was when they had the Razor's Edge. That was a great album.
Yeah, it was. Yep. So And then the 90s, I kind of, I played into, I think it's about 93. And my son was about 5 years old, and I thought it was time to stop and
Be a
be an
father.
adult. And then I went through a divorce, and my son lived with me, and I raised him myself and talked to him every day. But that was like the greatest part of my life, was raising my son and being a single dad and spending times and vacations together. Just, we ATV'd together, we rode snowmobiles together, we hiked together, we did all sorts of stuff, and now I'm a grandfather, he's doing that with his son. So
Wow.
that's why I was saying family is more important to us than anything, But
So-
and then go ahead.
Go ahead. So you stopped for a while.
Stopped, yep, I quit, and then I told everybody I was going to come back, and in 2015 I actually ran into Scott. He's a construction guy and I'm a real estate guy, and I said, hey, come over, I think I'm going to put the band back together, and why don't you come over and play guitar for us? He's like, what? And I said, yeah. I said, we put it back together. So we did. In 2016 we released an album, Fallen Brothers, and it sold thousands of copies. We did it in our home studio. We didn't know what we were doing, and then we went in and we decided that it was time. I wrote an album called Epic, and I thought it was time to really step it up. And our manager, right there it is, yes, our manager knew Ripper Owens, and he said, what would you think of having Ripper Owens come in and sing? I said, that would be like a dream. Well, let me back up. Prior to that, we had Joe Lynn Turner do a single that I did.
Show Me the Way Back Home.
Show Me the Way Back Home. We re-released that, a new version of that on the new album too. With the
Oh, okay.
So I went back in, we redid it, stripped it down to what it should be. But so yeah, Joe Lynn Turner, then Ripper Owens came and sang it, and that was incredible having Ripper sing the album. When he sent back Lightning was the first song he sang. We were all like, are you kidding me? He's like the dream singer. He's the perfect fit for the band. I couldn't have told him to sing it better.
Right.
So what I did in this, when we did Epic, I actually played guitar and sang all the tracks at the same time. We did the whole album, didn't we? The whole album. I cut the album live, but I was singing and playing and kept all my guitar tracks kept. I couldn't believe it. And then Ripper sang it, sent him back, and next thing you know, we were in 13 selection rounds for Grammys. All of a sudden, the Grammys contacted us, said, "Hey, this is a great album." Guys, I'm like, "What?" And then they made us do all the verifications of everything. We made it to the finals. We didn't get a nomination, but hey, we made it all the way to the end. We made it through the selection rounds and things like that. So we're pretty proud of that. And that's how Ripper came in, was through our manager.
Right. That's a great story. Now, Dave, let me talk to you a little bit, because you weren't here last time. So
hold on 1 second. I lost light here.
Oh, look at this now.
Here we go.
There you go.
Pay the electricity bill, Dave.
I know. All right.
Whoa, would you come here in a convertible?
I know, it's crazy. It goes gray. It goes everywhere.
All right. So Dave, you're the newbie to the Rock Shop with Ralph. These other guys are seasoned veterans. Welcome to the show. Tell me a little bit about yourself, Dave. What do you, I hate the standard question, who are your influences, but all right. Who are your influences?
Paul Stanley, Gene Simmons, Peter Criss, Ace Frehley. I can give you all the real names. Peter Criss Kula, Paul Frehley, Chaim Witz.
Chaim
I
Witz.
can give them all to you. Yes.
From Haifa, Israel.
Yeah, from Israel. And I always played guitar when I was younger, and I was so into Kiss and metal and Maiden and Priest. And then just never worked out for me. I never met the right people, And then I shared a manager with those guys, John Pettygrass, and I said, hey, I love these guys. If anything ever happens, if they ever need a bass player, you get me on this. And stars were aligned, and John's like, you want to play for Held Hostage? You want to try out? And I'm like, yeah. And I've seen him many, many times. Very, very awesome, very professional, very catchy music. And now watching how the process is done, it's been a dream come true. I love it, and I can't be happier.
Awesome. Well, the album we're talking about right now, we'll get to the new album later, is this album, Epic.
Yep.
Which I have played all the time. I mean, the standout tracks are Lightning, of course.
Lightning, I love it.
Hollywood is one of my favorites. Tonight's the Night. now let me
I like Rocking the Night Away.
Rocking the Night Away, yeah. And then it's funny because on Tonight's the Night, I didn't know that was Tom doing the Bon Scott impersonation.
Yeah.
Because I was on the phone with him and I go, hey Tom, let me ask you, who does Bon Scott? And he goes, that's me. I'm like, no way. He goes, Yeah, yes, it is. My
You're
balls.
good too. That's really good.
And he's doing it. And I'm like, holy shit, he sounds just like him, But let me ask you guys, when you're recording, let's just take Epic, for instance. I mean, I believe Tom told me you did all the lyrics and music yourself.
Myself, yes, on Epic.
Right.
Yeah.
So now, all right, Scott, did you have any input on this stuff? What's going on? I mean,
Well, we were set up in the studio. We set up, and Tom was in the vocal booth, and he played his guitar in there, and he sang all the tracks. And it's just the way we rehearsed it.
right.
We went in and took what we did and went in like that. We had all their separation with all of our amps and everything, but we were
played the click
rehearsed.
tracks.
Yeah, had the
So we
click
rehearsed
track.
a click track. So when we rehearse for a show, it's the same thing. We rehearsed the show the way we're going to play it live. But we did the same thing. But I mean,
The set list, everything.
set lister, and we
Yeah.
know exactly what we're doing when we go out on stage. We're very professional about it. The worst thing you can have is a bunch of dead air and people looking at each other going, what's the next song we're going to play?
Right,
We
right.
come out and we just nail them song after song after song,
Right. So basically all the tracks are done. The guitar, the rhythm guitar, the lead guitar is done. And then you add like a solo to it, Scott.
Well, yeah. I mean, Tom did go in. You did some solos.
I do all the solos.
Yeah, yeah.
But Tom, what the hell you need the band for? You do everything yourself.
He does it all.
I mean, what the hell am I interviewing? Ingve Malmsteen here?
Yeah, we're just
What the fuck? I thought this was held hostage.
It is.
Fucking Tom Ingve fucking Collier there.
And the thing of it is, I was playing the leads while I was singing too.
He's like Mr. Bojangles with the harmonica, the fucking drum, everything. He's doing everything.
He's done that actually. Yeah.
My first instrument was drums. I love to play drums.
There you go. Okay.
Here's a
good.
quick story. When Scott, before he joined the band, I brought him over and we were playing with this other guy. I was playing drums. We had this other guy playing bass, and I made Scott play guitar. So and he was like, so I forced him to learn the songs by himself. And then I brought
Talk
him
about
in.
being held hostage. Okay.
Yep.
I mean, it was just over in the.
I know he really is held hostage. I know what the name of the band is held hostage.
You know?
The fucking band, the band is held hostage to Tom. Tom's holding them all hostage.
What's going on here?
Dave, right, Dave? He's got you in the corner going, you play
Yep.
this fucking bass line the way I tell you to play.
I can't afford to pay the electricity here.
I know. Look at poor David. He can't even afford a comb, for Christ's sake. Let the guy play.
Well, when I write a song, I have a vision for every part, whether it's the drum, the vocals, the bass parts. I mean, these guys, what I do is I'll say, hey, Dave, here's this cool bass line, and then he'll take it to the next level. I just
Right.
give him ideas onto that.
Awesome.
The same thing with the rhythm parts with Scott, and the drum parts. I mean, Jeff, it's like some songs just need basic. Other ones, like we got a song called Chaos, our first instrumental ever on a new album, and that's what it is. We cut it live. No one take live, and it's on the album, and it's killer. It
Awesome.
came out incredible.
Now let's take Ripper Owens, for instance. I mean, you invite Ripper. Now, the last time you were here, you had a vocalist that was going to go out with you on tour. Now, I know you didn't tour. You did some shows with Ripper, but it wasn't like a full-fledged tour, correct?
Right, and that was because of the COVID. We were
Right.
still having problems and stuff with. A lot of the venues were shutting down or masked or third capacity. They couldn't afford to bring us in there when they're only running at third capacity.
Yeah.
We bring a big production with us, big lights, big sound system. Our production is top of the line. We don't want to come in half-assed, and we're not going to sacrifice that.
How was it playing with the former lead singer of Judas Priest? You guys had to be pinching yourselselves, right? When he's on stage with you.
We had 2-3 shows.
Yeah.
He's coming back up May 7th with us. But playing with him, he's the nicest guy in the world, first of all, a total gentleman and total professional. And he comes in and he just nails it. I mean, it's just so easy to work with him. And I mean, think about this. I had Ross the Boss on stage, Ripper Owens, and Held Hostage. They were all playing Held Hostage songs, the Boss Man.
It was awesome.
Yeah, we had a great night.
And Mark.
And Mark Lopes too. Yep.
And Mark Lopes, right?
Yep. Yeah. So, but no, it's been great to have someone like Ripper.
Well, when Ripper, just him being there, just his demeanor. I mean, it was just like he was part of the band. I mean, just came in and it just clicked. And I'm telling you, it was just great having him there.
Right. What are some of your favorite songs on the album to play, Dave?
Up the new one or the old one?
We're talking about Epic.
I love Hot Night. I love Lightning is awesome. And Rocking the Night Away, ending with that, and we do our little thing we do. You have to come see us live to understand what I'm talking about. But it says it all. It's just a great way to end a show because it brings you up, it brings you up, and then you go higher. It's just awesome. Leaves you wanting more, like Siegfried and Roy would say.
Well, by the way, I believe that Gene Simmons is one of the most underrated bass players ever.
Oh yeah, I love him.
Gene Simmons is not talked about in the same sentence as some of the big ones, you know. But if you look at his bass lines and the way he plays, I mean, plus with all that gear on, I mean, still doing it at a high level at 72 years old. I mean, you know, the guy, I saw him on the end of the road. I saw him a year and a half ago. The best I've ever seen him play. Yeah, you don't want to tell him that because then his head will get bigger. But anyway,
so his bank account. God bless him.
Hey, listen, he capitalizes. That's why he's called capitalism. He capitalized on
marketing genius.
Marketing, really.
Genius.
Absolutely.
Maybe we can come out with some held hostage condoms. What do you think?
I'm hoping.
Hell yeah.
Right.
Back in the 80s, we could have used them.
But just don't come out with held hostage Spanish fly because that ain't gonna work. Hey, babe, take some of this Spanish fly. It's called held hostage. Next thing you know, you got police sirens outside your door.
Yeah, really.
But what? So you said you toured with Eddie Money. You know, Eddie Money's from my neighborhood in Queens, New York.
Back in the 80s, I was lucky enough to tour with Eddie. I did a six city tour with Eddie. We opened for him in Syracuse, and that was a different version of Held Hostage. We opened for him in Syracuse, and he said, "You know what? I got some more show. I love you guys. You guys are just great." And Eddie was a partier back then.
No, really?
On tour with him, man. I'll tell you, he'd get you shit faced if you didn't. If you weren't careful, I'd tell the guys, just stay away from Eddie. You know,
I've heard stories about him.
Yeah, he liked the shots.
I used to seen him a lot, and he used to go, "Hey, what do you expect? I've been through 6 rehabs." He used to say that. You know,
he was a great guy though.
He was a police officer, right?
Yep.
Yeah, his whole family were cops. His brother was a captain.
That's amazing.
Yeah, his real name is Mahoney. I grew up in Ozone Park, Queens. He grew up in Woodhaven, Queens. Then he moved out to the island in Levittown. A lot of people think he grew up on the island, but he didn't. But rest in peace. I mean, even my band we cover Eddie Money tunes. What a great guy. What years were that?
We were with him 89 to 91, I think it was.
Oh, that was at his peak. That was during Take Me Home Tonight.
Take Me Home Tonight, but obviously 2 Tickets to Paradise. He played that every
Oh
day.
yeah, and Baby Hold On,
Baby
Shaking,
Hold On.
Think I'm in Love.
Yep.
Great tunes. Who are some of your favorite guitarists, Scott?
Oh my gosh. Start off with Ted Nugent.
Really?
Love Ted. Love him.
Uncle Ted.
Yeah, absolutely. Eric Clapton and Freddie King going into some of the blues guys, but Tony Iommi, I think, you know, Tony Iommi is just he's the guy to me.
I mean, Tony Iommi, the riff master. That guy has.
Oh gosh.
They said he could die. There'll still be thousands of Tony Iommi riffs. You know.
Just you know.
So Tom, let me ask you. I have a question for you now, and be honest.
Sure.
If one of these guys come up to you and say, and I don't want to start any riffs in the band, and if Scott comes up to you and says, "Listen, I got a song. It's got I did it in my I did it with Pro Tools at home. I got guitar, bass, and drums. Can I present this to the band? What would you say?"
Absolutely. I encourage these guys. In fact, the song "The Master," I was stuck on the words. I wrote like the first verse and a half, and I brought Scott over. And he helped me write the last 2 verses of it.
Yeah.
Right.
Story behind that.
What's that?
I know we haven't got into the new album yet.
Yeah, well, this is
we're gonna get there. But here's a question. I was saying, like, you're saying your influences are on the blues based. Tom is more like Priest and hard rock stuff. Would you want to do like a blues based style song, or it has to fit into the scope of the band?
We were going to do a blues song on the new album, but it didn't come through. We ran out of time.
Yeah,
we had so much going on and stuff like that, but there was actually going to be a blues song on there.
Awesome.
The influences are there, though. I mean,
you could hear it in your playing.
Yeah,
you could hear it in your playing. Great. So let's talk about the new album. Now, Epic was released during COVID.
Yes.
You know, I know you sold a couple thousand copies. You told me you sold it in the thousands, but you're on a new label. This was epic. People go out and get it. It's a great album. Tim Ripper Owens is the guest vocalist. Now Ripper Owens is called the guest vocalist, correct? He's not actually part of Held Hostage.
No, we use him as guest vocalist. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Now, the new album is going to be recorded. It's called Great American Rock.
Yes.
So tell me about that. And Tim Ripper Owens is the guest vocalist on this album as well.
He sings 10 of the songs. Yes. 10 of the songs he's on.
And how many songs are on it?
12. So there's one instrumental and then the Joe Lynn Turner, the new version of that.
Show Me the Way Back Home.
Yes. Yes. Great version we did of that. Come back in and redid it.
So do I have to even ask, or is it was all written and music, lyrics by Tom Collier?
All the songs, all the music, the master of the music, but the second half of the master we wrote together, the vocal, verse. The first verse I had already written. And
Cool.
then I was stuck, and so Scott came in and helped me write it.
So what kind of songs can you give us some names of the songs and what
Oh yeah,
some of the tracks?
sure. I mean, the master is probably one of the heaviest tunes we do. I mean, it's just I had called Scott up one morning and I said, I just wrote an iconic riff. I wanted to write an iconic riff. When you hear the master, it just got this incredible feel to it. Everybody that's heard it's been wow. And then I said, get over it, didn't I?
Oh, he calls me. It's like 6 o'clock in the morning. I mean, it's a weekday.
Yeah, he calls me early too, but I'm an early riser, so I don't mind.
Yeah, it's all good. You know, he knows it, you know, I'm like, he said, I just wrote this iconic riff, and he's like playing it over the phone. I said, holy shit, you know? So then we started putting it together in rehearsal and didn't have a name.
Yep.
You know, I came up with a name. I said, the master, this is it. That's all we had.
Well, it was about, I said I wanted to write a song about addiction.
Yeah.
And so we couldn't figure it out. And then Scott came up with the master. I already had the theme for the song, but he came up with the name of the master there. And that's what it's about. Is everybody has your master, everybody has their master, whether it's booze, alcohol, drugs, sex, whatever it is, exercise. You know, we all look to something, you know, cigarettes. Well, I don't smoke cigarettes, but I'm just saying, you know.
Right. You could have it could be called the higher power as well.
Yep.
Yeah. So you named the album, the new album is going to be called Great American Rock.
Yes.
Now, how'd you come up with that title?
I wanted to get back to the roots of rock and roll, and I think that's what Held Hostage stands for, is Great American Rock. When we were called that in Europe, a Great American Rock Band, and I thought, man, that would be a great name for an album. In fact, in the studio, when we finished Epic, the engineer in the studio said, man, you guys are like just like the last great American rock band. And I said, well, that's going to be the name of our new album. What do you mean? It's going to be called Great American Rock. So that's where it came from. I mean, on this album, we cover a song about bikers' lives because we're endorsed by Bikers United. We have a song called Now We Ride, and it's about riding a bike. And whether you're riding out in the woods, a bike, I don't care what you're doing, man. You just get that feeling of freedom, and that's what it's really about, you know?
Yeah. Hey, Dave, you ever when you're recording some of these songs, you ever do a bass line or something, and you say, holy shit, I sound like Gene Simmons there, or I sound like, you know,
I do.
Billy Sheehan,
Yep.
Nikki Sixx.
I love.
Oh, so you don't hear, so then you don't hear your bass at all then?
Yeah. No, because Nikki Sixx writes straight up shit stuff that you can just like sink your teeth into, and it's amazing. He writes the best. He's like, I'm not a musician, I'm a rock star.
Yeah.
And when you listen to his bass playing, I disagree. He's a very good musician, a very good songwriter. And
songwriter, I believe he's excellent.
It's the other one. Yeah. And Lee Sklar is the other bass player I really love. Bill Collins, session musician. He's phenomenal. But when Tom wrote all this stuff and I'm playing the bass to it, and I look over and I'm like, how all the pieces put together. It's like you get a Rubik's Cube and you're like turning it. I got the green side. Yes. It's awesome. And I'm glad to be a part of it. And it's just weird. It's just, I hear Gene Simmons. I hear some bluesy stuff. I hear Nikki Sixx because I want to. And I'm in an office. I apologize, everybody. I just got to go over here. And there we go. I'll just stand over here.
All right. So what's let's figure out what's your favorite Gene Simmons song from Kiss?
Oh, God of Thunder. Totally.
God of Thunder?
And I love Unholy. Unholy is amazing.
Written by Vinnie Vincent.
Yep. I just say, yeah, he's my favorite person to hate. And I love him.
Well,
sorry,
I hate to get sidetracked here, guys, but I got to talk to him about Kiss for a little bit.
Yeah,
They're going to be
one
at
of the Kiss
Creatures
crews.
Fest, you know. They're doing Creatures Fest in Nashville, Tennessee. Ace and Peter are going to be there. They're going to be playing together. And Vinnie Vincent is playing there as well. Now, there's a little bit of history here with Vinnie Vincent and with Tom Collier. I'm going to get there. Going to get to that.
Really? Oh shit.
Vinnie Vincent is supposedly having a new album being released. It was just announced, which I'll believe it when I see it. But the reason why I'm bringing Vinnie Vincent up, I can't even believe I'm giving him a plug, is all our friends, and you guys must know him, Jim Crean from your area.
Yeah.
He was the singer when Vinnie Vincent came out of retirement and was going to play in Nashville. He was going to be the singer. It was going to be him, Tony Franklin, and Carmine Appice. Right, and he fucked it all up. He just backed out in the last minute.
Wow.
So I'll believe that when I see it. It went with that new album. Anyway, favorite Nikki Sixx song?
Looks to Kill, and then If I Die Tomorrow.
Oh, that was
Song,
off the greatest
that touches
hits.
Everyone's Red Brighton Crew. Yeah, just if you know anyone who has addiction, you know, it helps you get through it. I've never been addicted to anything other than music and sugar.
Oh,
But
that's cool.
thank God, knock on wood.
Right. So Tom, what are some? Give me some of the other songs that we can look forward to on Great American Rock. I know you mentioned The Master. Show Me the Way Back Home. Now that's a complete re-recording of the last one.
Yes, an acoustic version of it. Yes.
And
Yes.
Jolyn Turner is singing on it.
Yes, absolutely.
I think that's Jolyn Turner calling Scott right now.
Yeah.
He just texted me.
Yeah.
One of the other songs that we did is, you know, we had a few of the guys in the band. We don't really like to talk about this, but they had committed suicide. And so I wrote a song called Rise, and it's about suicide and, you know, the struggles of suicide. And it's trying to encourage them not to do it, you know, and it's like rise above. And the craziest thing about that is I wrote that song on a Friday night, finished it completely on a Friday night. Saturday morning, I get a phone call, and it's this woman who's representing the suicide awareness. And she's having a concert, and she wants to know if held hostage would be willing to play there. And I was like, "Are you kidding me?" She goes, "What?" I said, "I just wrote a song last night called Rise about suicide." She goes, "No way." And what are the chances of that happening the next morning? And we
Right.
headlined the show, and we did great for him.
Yeah. So you're saying that you wrote that for suicide prevention, and just out of the blue, she called up.
She called the next morning. I wrote it on a Friday night, and a Saturday morning, she called me.
Wow.
It was just amazing. And Ripper really, he tears that song up with his vocals. I mean,
Yeah,
it's a side of Ripper. I mean, he's so melodic, and people don't understand how great of a singer he is.
Right. Now I know you have a show coming up. What is it? May 7th?
May 7th is our album release. Our album actually releases May 6th worldwide, but we're doing our release party here. We'll probably do one on the West Coast too. We're working a West Coast show right now. We're going to do one on the East Coast. And it's our hometown in Cloacus Winery in Fairhaven, New York. Outdoors holds about 4,000 people.
Yeah.
And if it's an indoor show, we can still hold 750 people.
Right.
It's a great facility.
Now, what are the plans as far as touring? What happens like if Ripper Owens is the guest vocalist? Let's say you guys are offered a spot opening up for someone. Who's going to be a vocalist? Will it be Ripper? Will it be another vocalist?
Whoever's available. If not, I'll do it.
I'm available, you know.
Well, if you're a singer,
And absolutely, I'm a
You
singer.
gotta be able to sing as good as I am, better than me. That's all.
Listen,
and that isn't very
listen.
good.
You haven't seen my shows then. I've sang on my show with Mark Fauna, with
Nice.
from Grand Funk,
Oh,
with
I know.
Eric Martin from Mr. Big. I sang with Johnny Gioeli from Hardline. I mean, listen, I may have a face for radio, but I got some voice, brother. You know what I mean?
Well, come on,
I mean,
try it out. We'll try it.
I don't just carry a tune in a shopping bag here. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Shit. I got some. I've been known as the songbird of my generation, as Will Ferrell said. That's what I mean.
I love that movie so much.
Right? I've been known as the songbird of my generation. But yeah, so in closing, guys, I want to wish you
Wait. Like a combination of Fergie,
Fergie and Jesus. You know what movie that is, Tom?
No, I don't watch a lot of TV, to be honest.
No, I know you're too busy writing songs and music.
Yeah.
Go ahead. What movie is that, Dave?
Step Brothers.
Step Brothers, the
Oh, I did
classic.
see that one. Okay, I did see that one. Yeah.
Why are you sweating? I was watching Cops.
Cops.
And the best part is he goes, I'm gonna play Moby Dick for real. He takes his nutsack out and he puts it all over his drums.
Yes, I seen that. Yeah.
We can say nutsack. This is my show, guys. But do we have any plans for touring, or is still up in the air waiting for the album to be released?
The album's going to be released first, and then we're probably going to go to the West Coast for at least 5 to 7 dates out there. We got actually a great following, on the West Coast, California, Oregon,
Right.
Seattle. We're looking up through there, Portland, Oregon, Seattle. We've done pretty well out there last time we were there. We're working it, but the record label right now, they're just like making us sit back, and they're taking charge of it. We're letting them. We can't even announce what the new label is. I mean, they're going to be announcing that themselves. We're just sitting back and. Well, I can tell you, we're working with one of the biggest publicists in the business. I mean, he's going to lay everything out there, but he's worked with Kiss. He was the guy that promoted Kiss all over the world for many years, still works with them. He worked with Ozzy, he worked with Madonna, Accept, Dream Theater. This is, and he found us. It was like a great, I got a phone call from this guy and I was like, wow, he got our Epic album. And he said, I'd really like to talk to you guys. He said, I heard you're doing another album and you guys, I think there's something here. So when you get someone like that big, believes in you.
Yeah, I was just about to ask you, can you tell me what label it was on? But you're saying you can't.
We're not supposed to yet. He's got to announce it. I mean, we're kind of.
All right. So, guys, the band is Held Hostage. You can find him on Facebook, the Held Hostage Band, and the website is heldhostageband.com, right?
Yes.
And the new album is called Great American Rock. And the special guest vocalist is Tim Ripper Owens once again. And one song, Joe Lantana, Long Island native Joe Lantana.
Yep, absolutely.
Go out and get their previous album called Epic. There it is. That's a great album. And start with these 3 tracks. Tonight's the Night, Lightning, and Rockin' the Night Away. And you won't go wrong. I always give 3 tracks to start with. And if you love those tracks, you're going to love the whole rest of the album. It's a great album. Just balls to the wall, straight ahead, hard rock. And you can't go wrong with Tim Ripper Owens on vocals.
No.
Who's been on my show. Great guy. Hopefully we can have him back after you release the album. Maybe we can get him here to sit down with us as well. I tell you who's not here, and it's too bad, is Jeffrey, what's his last name? Morgan?
Murray.
Jeff Murray. Jeff Murray, where the hell is he?
Oh, man.
What? He missed it. He missed his opportunity.
Incredible.
Wait to see him live. He's an incredible
He's
drummer.
phenomenal.
Great job.
20, he's 26, just turned
Yeah, I
26.
think so, yeah.
Yeah, just turned 26.
Great. Well, guys, I want to thank you for coming on. I look forward to the new album. I mean, I play this album all the time. Epic. It's played in my car all the time. Can't say enough about it. Once you get the new one, you come back, we'll talk some more. But I want to thank David Carroll, Scott Gregg, and Tom Collier, rock band Held Hostage. Look for this interview to be posted, and I'll talk to you guys soon.
Thank you very much.
All right, guys, take care of yourselves. Bye.
Take care.
Thanks, Rob.
Thank you.